we're listening to the Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW, the Friday, February 25th virtual show. Because of COVID, we are still virtually. You can catch us on podcast and on air on 1150 AM KKNW, Saturday at 3 p.m. with a rebroadcast on Sunday at 8 a.m. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
We bring in studio each week the best of the best experts in our local market on everything that has to do with your money. We are here to help you in today's economy. And now in studio, we have Kyle Krauskopf of Kyle Krauskopf Art Works, generating income as an artist and the plethora of other hats every independent artist has to wear right here on 1150 AM KKNW.
Kyle, so you mentioned in your headline there the plethora of other hats that you have to wear, and I imagine no matter how good your art is, it's not going to sell itself, I would imagine. So
I'm glad you can say that word, Keelan. I was having a challenge over here.
No, it's all good. It is a difficult one, but I would imagine there's a lot to it, from marketing to getting your work out there, from getting involved. How many roles do you need to take on, do you think, when you're an artist?
All of them. I'm glad you asked that question. I didn't actually know what to write in that headline. I was just like, this could be beneficial. But anyway, you're right. You're right on. You have to be an advertiser. You have to be a photographer. You have to be a marketer. You have to be, it helps to be good at art. You have to be able to engage with people, talk to people, not be afraid at functions. And all of this also, though, is completely up to each individual artist to decide how much they want to do. You have to be a web designer, forgot that one. All of that is up to how much you want it, I guess, what you want your audience to be, how successful, whatever your definition of that is, whatever you want it. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying. It's just like, the best part about being an artist is anything can be anything, and you can take it to as far as it'll go, or you can just do some watercolors after work and drink some tea.
Yeah, well, that's beautiful, because as an artist, again, just having, I would imagine, that natural ability for visualization and dreaming, and but then you have to take it out on the street and decide how much effort you're going to put into it, and are you good with building and connecting with people? Because no matter what industry we're in, whether it's selling real estate, it's selling mortgages, or it's selling art, you have to be able to go out there and connect with people, because they are as much buying for your product and your service as they are for you as an individual and supporting your art. So let's talk a little bit, Kyle, about what are the different ways and revenue streams that that artists can do to generate income? Because you hear, I mean, the old term starving artists, that comes from somewhere, right?
So true. Well, I'm a little bit of a non-traditionalist when it comes to this point, but some of the more traditional ways to generate some income are, making prints, which also involves being a good photographer, which is surprisingly difficult to photograph your own work because the colors never turn out right, or all these things. You can do, it's getting your work printed on as many things as you think, like pillows, socks, t-shirts, all of this stuff. But my approach is a little bit different in that I'm a total workaholic and love making unique things for everybody. So I just create sheer volumes. Like, I'll do a project where I make 365 different wooden animals over the course of a year, and then I'll just sell those individually. And that seems to be my process up until now. Is just, I love to make stuff, and at any price range I can figure something out for the individual.
Well, I am going to level up my word of the year, where I come up with an image and then write a statement, not just having it on my wrist as in charm. But I'm going to have to get with you and talk about that wooden art and have a wooden piece.
Things that I would.
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, at least starting from 2015 to this year, and then it would be one a year. But
I love the bracelet idea that you have going on there. It's so intentional, and I really think when you put forth that intent before you start something, if you just have that level of intention, it really helps you follow through. I actually do the same thing. I have a necklace, but I make my own charms. I have a little lightning bolt made out of brass on mine right now.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it helps you every time I mean, I hold it all the time, and it's just
Totally.
funny with the image. I always happen to grab that year when I first go to my bracelet. So you know that there's some universe action that's coming in when you have an intention to really stay grounded to something that's important to you. So yeah,
Absolutely.
we need to get together and chat.
Sure.
Kyle, I have all the respect in the world for you. I mean, art for a lot of people, they shy away because it's like, to a lot of people, it's like becoming a professional athlete, right? You might be passionate about it, but to cross over that bridge and to make an income, eventually, it's never about the easy road. Tina talks about that a lot. It's about the hard road, sticking to it and really staying true to your passion and turning that into an income is extremely commendable. Why, what would you say to, as far as advice to other budding artists who may be listening to our show right now?
First of all, that was super flattering comparing me to a professional athlete. Thank you. The advice that I would give to, any artist, anybody trying to, it's not, there's no mystery really around it. It is just repetitive work. It is picking yourself up after you have a bad show or you've made a bad piece, which there will be many, many, many of. But that process is just eliminating things that you don't want in your work, or you don't in the same token part of your life, with experiences and that sort of thing. So my advice to them would be, do work, even if it's just 30 seconds or 3 hours. It snowballs, and it will make you better, just by doing it. And then the other thing is following through on your commitments. This will set you apart from many, many other artists. And I don't want to stereotype on that, but in my experience, I'm the one that shows up. And it's because I said I was going to do it, so I did it.
Yeah. And so you said many, many bad pieces. I would imagine that the artist, you're a little bit harder on yourself than your client might be, right? I mean, some of them that you say is a bad piece, your clients, it's probably not a bad piece. I would imagine that. Is it not true that artists, I just see that you might be a little bit harder on yourself. Would that be an accurate statement or not so
I
much?
think everybody is for sure their own worst critic, but I'm a pretty self-disciplined, critical thinking individual in the first place. So back to what you said about client not thinking it's so bad. Hopefully it never gets into their hands.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
to think that, but I would say I would definitely agree with that. There's
Yeah.
a lot of pieces that actually in that little intro about me, the project that I did where I did a drawing every day, once I got those done framed up the year after that, I was really surprised at the ones that people did want to buy, because a lot of them were my quote unquote off days. I'm just like, there's
Wow.
some splattered paint, but I'm still sitting on a few dozen that are like, why are these still around? They're really good.
Oh, so what about stumbling block for you personally, as an artist? What's a stumbling block that you have?
Sure. I would say if the one key thing that I possess is a great resiliency. I like to say that if I stopped having ideas right now, I wouldn't be able to finish the ones I've already had over the course of the rest of my life. So putting all those nets out into the world, casting all those lines, and having so many of them not work out is kind of a test of your resolve. Like, how much do you want to do this? Like I mentioned, like bad reviews or bad shows, you have to pick yourself up and believe in yourself and know it's just like life. It's like pursuing anything in life. You've got to believe in what you're doing. You've got to believe in why you're doing it, and you got to hold on to your convictions, and just persevere.
Well, advice, you need to be a motivational speaker, Kyle.
I've heard that more than once.
Well, and what an interesting thing art is. It's in the eye of the beholder. So you're capturing something that's intangible. I can't see, there's these famous works of art that I've seen. I'm like, including this one, where it's like, you could, yeah, I'm not, it's kind of slap some paint up there, and it's amazing. It looks cool to me though, but you know, I guess it's
you, it's art. That's it.
that's what you think about it, right? Well, I hate to say this, Kyle, but we are down to 1 minute. We only have a time for another question. So I wanted to see, what is your biggest accomplishment so far?
That's such a, I'm going to go with building the Museum of Museums. That's about to open in First Hill in Seattle. It's kind of a long story, so if I just squeeze it down, I was on an airplane and I was really frustrated with my lack of progress, and I set my mind to, like, I'm gonna figure this out right now. I'm really smart, I'm really motivated, I can do this. And I dreamt up this museum in my head and had no way of making it happen, no way of making it, like, financing it, anything. 2 weeks later, I ran into the guy that was already building the exact thing that I had imagined in my head. And I just helped him for 2 years to physically, brick by brick, build that place. So
that is amazing. And what a passion feeling to drive you moving forward and to continue inspiring other artists, where the magic sauce is really at. And it's the things that you've brought into studio and talked about. It's actually going to make me tear up for a second here, Kyle.
It was a really powerful,
it's a powerful conversation, and everything that you say is so true. And that's what people need in their life. They need passion. They need a dream. They need a vision, because that's what's going to drive the drive behind it to do the work. It's when you're lacking passion, vision, dream, confidence, that's when the drive's not there. Because if the passion's there, the drive's going to be there. So beautiful segment, Kyle. Thank you so much for coming into studio.
You're welcome. Thank you.